Alton, a market town at the heart of East Hampshire in England, but with a rich history and a big reputation. It's thought the name Alton derives from Saxon times, translating roughly to village by the spring, given its proximity to the source of the River Wey.
Alton's been a traditional market town since the late 13th century and has had strong connections over the years to a variety of industries, from weaving to paper making, waterworks to brewing.
So join us as we glance back, peek forward and embrace a town that's captured the hearts of many.
It's time to discover and treasure, admire and explore Alton. Today there are 21,000 people that call Alton their home. The town is full to the brim of personal stories and world-famous history.
First recorded in the Doomsday Survey of 1028, Alton's weathered the Iron Age, the Middle Ages, the bubonic plague and even the Civil War.
The Battle of Alton occurred during the English Civil War. In December 1643, William Waller's parliamentary troops attacked and defeated Lord Crawford's royalist troops. In total, 700 royalists were captured, with many fatalities. St Lawrence's church doors still bear the scars of battle to this day.
Every few years, the English Civil War Society take over the town to stage a full-scale public reenactment of the battle. They employed volunteers, costume designers, historians and actors to accurately recreate the drama of the event.
The English Civil War Society is a group of historical reenactors. We aim to bring history to life. It's a two-sided hobby in a lot of ways. There is the whole bringing that history to life, educational and entertaining people, but it's a heck of a lot of fun as well. And the guys out on the battlefield absolutely love it. Battle of Alton, in December 1643, although it's quite a small battle in reality, and it's a very, very one-sided battle, it's pivotal in that it marked the high water of the royalist ascendancy in the south and southwest. The royalists had started the war going particularly well and had started to dominate in the south particularly, but this was where Sir William Waller's army was able to stop that spread. We are always amazed by the number of people who turn out to come and watch us here. It's whatever we do, we get huge crowds, and that's tremendously gratifying for us. And we enjoy what we do, but we do it to be watched. We do it for an audience, and to have a big and appreciative audience is tremendous.
The 18th and 19th centuries saw Alton's industries boom and its population rise. To talk us through in more detail, local historian Tony Cross has agreed to meet us for a look around Alton Cemetery, a place of huge symbolic significance when it comes to the town's past.
History is sort of people, places and things, and of those the people are most important. And here we are in the cemetery, and this is where all of us will end up one day. In here you've got everybody, from the great and the good through to the normal working man. Interestingly, all the important families have got sort of bigger monuments prominently situated, rather than the normal sort of small gravestones that more normal people have got. So in here you've got brewing families who created much of the wealth for the town. And as the town got bigger, more people lived here, more people died here. And what had been the churchyard of the cemetery was then sort of full up. So the early part is sort of down over in the far corner, down near the Friends Meeting House end, and then gradually it came up through here. And in the Second World War, just in the middle of the Second World War, they moved into the top bit, and that's the bit they're using nowadays for burials.
The beautiful village of Chawton, connected to Alton by an underpass, is most famous for its stunning walking routes. and as the home of world-famous 19th century novelist Jane Austen. Her former house is now a museum and major tourist hotspot.
Ah, hello, Rebecca.
Nice to meet you. How are you doing?
I'm Rebecca. Welcome to Jane Austen's house. Are you ready to have a look around?
Absolutely.
we'd love to,
Lead
yeah.
the way.
Okay, follow me.
Should be good.
So this is the house where Jane Austen lived for the last 8 years of her life, and it's where she had her most prolific period of creativity. This is where she wrote and revised all 6 of her novels, which are still hugely famous and influential 200 years on. When you visit the house, you have the opportunity to walk through beautiful rooms like the drawing room where we are now, which are kind of recreated as if it was the 1800s and you've just stepped into Jane Austen's house. Upstairs we also have some really exciting objects like pieces of her jewellery, the quilt that she sewed with her mother and sister. In the dining room you can see the writing desk where she did her writing and revising of the 6 novels. Jane Austen is really important in the history of literature because she's so influential. Her novels are still loved 200 years on. She writes characters that are so iconic and so recognisable. They are constantly making new adaptations of her novels because they still translate so well even 200 years later. And she's really important to the history of Alton because she lived here and was really happy here, and it's where she did so much of her writing. Lots of her family either stayed here or lived here, and she just really enjoyed being in Hampshire.
How much film have you got? Hey!
Oh, thank you. That was really lovely, yeah.
At the top of the high street lies the Curtis Museum, an entire building dedicated to Alton's proud history. Founded by renowned botanist William Curtis in 1837, the museum explores approximately 100 million years of the region's past, with exhibitions and artefacts in the collection spanning from early man to the present day.
Permanent displays include ancient Roman pottery, Civil War armour and the Alton buckle, an item widely regarded as the finest piece of Anglo-Saxon craftsmanship ever found in Hampshire, and the most beautiful jewel ever discovered outside of the famous Sutton Hoo burial site in Suffolk. So today we've proved that Alton is drenched in its own fascinating past, from 17th century skirmishes to famous former residents and historical figureheads. This has just been the tip of the iceberg. Alton already has an incredible context, but continues to make its own history into the 2020s.
Now a thriving modern market town, Alton's first ever market was in 1232. But it didn't stop there. The hustle and bustle has continued all the way up to now.
So there we have it, a town steeped in incredible history. Join us next time where we'll be exploring more of what Alton has to offer in the modern day. See you then.